Greetings, it's Nick, and welcome back to my EU4 teaching series where we're playing as Castile and we're going to form Spain, and I'm going to show all the basic mechanics for the EU4 game. Right now, I just wanted to show my my Steam overlay screen where you can see that I have 1,430 hours total in this game, which means that I'm just getting to the intermediate level. Really, this game, it takes you can still learn things. After I've been playing over 1,000 hours, I still was learning things. This game is easy to learn, but I'm not gonna say impossible to master, but it's pretty tough. Anyway, I was talking in an earlier video about doing achievements, and I want to show off that I have some achievements. 27% doesn't seem like a lot, but it is also, let's get this loaded up. Yeah, you can see that there's 295 achievements and more being added every time. I can show you the global achievement stats, but I'm not going to. A lot of the achievements are pretty simple. You can get them in your first game, which you can almost see where I started playing. I think Castile was my first game. Back in March 27th of 2014. Castile might have been my very first Iron Man game. I'm pretty sure it was, because Castile, as I mentioned before in a previous video, is my favorite nation. Yeah, so you can see that a lot of them, was it though? So I'm looking for the earliest achievement, secure a royal marriage. That's easily done, so that might have been March 21st. That was right when the game came out. Where you can see as, yeah, because you can see I'm playing 12:11 a.m. and then the next day. You can see some of the achievements are a little harder. This one's easy. The Emperor's New Clothes, overthrow Austria and become the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. I just never got around to it until I played my Brandenburg campaign. Where I was gonna go Brandenburg into Prussia for. I'll show you what the achievement is. Down under, have a colony in Australia. That was my England game. This one was pretty easy. It's discover the Americas as Castile or Spain. This one's easy once you know, get all your French corps as France. You do that in like 2 wars once you know all your how to fight with France. This one was last month. I just never got around to really playing as Portugal. That's luck. Accumulating money respected. Cardinals is luck mainly, but also being friendly with the Papal State. Divine Rule is completely luck. Cold War, I had to plan to do this. I joined. I was called into a war. This was with my England game as well, and it was a European war. I had no interest in fighting in Europe. I was focused on colonization. So, we ended up winning anyway. I didn't fight a single battle. Royal authority, install a union through a secession war. I'm going to show you in a different video how to do this. Birds and arm is easy. This was a bit of a pain in the ass because I didn't know. The first time I tried to do this achievement, I missed a province, and then the second time I did it, England took a province. I had to fight this huge war with England to get one province. It was ridiculous. These are easy to. This one's luck, but two of the unions are scripted in the sense that not Austria, you can easily get unions over Hungary and Bohemia. Um, and then you have to play the royal marriage game, keep your prestige high, and I'll do a video on personal unions, don't worry. Um, this one's luck. Forming Russia's easy. You can do every continent as England. Poland in the space reached the maximum level of technology. You go Poland into the Commonwealth. Because I believe it still counts. And then you just hang tight. Aggressive expanders easy. One night in Paris is easy. You just kick France's butt in a war. This one I did recently, just at the end of last year. I thought I could do it for a long time. I just never got around to it. Rome, Moscow, and Istanbul. You can do it as a very focused game. Dismantling the Holy Roman Empire. You can do this in around 1500 if you focus. But this actually happened to me like out of nowhere. I was fighting in a league war, and I believe it was in my Poland Iron Man game, and I just ended up occupying all the electors. And like, what happened is, if when the Holy Roman Empire, when the emperor dies, the an eligible emperor needs to be elected. Well, if the emperor dies during a league war and there's no eligible emperor for whatever reason, then the empire just gets dismantled, which is what happened in mine. This is a Poland focus achievement. It's pretty easy. You can do this with Spain, which is what I did, because Spain can end up with, as I said earlier, Aragon and Naples in a union at the same time. This was I used to play the entire game. Colonial nations is easy. Protected market just isn't investing diplomatic power until you get 100% more mercantilism. Piles of gold or luck. This I got is Castile. You can easily get the Polish elected monarchy. Total control is just playing. A lot of these you can do can be cheesed, but this happened with Castile, I remember. It was before I knew about tactics to get rid of rulers you don't like. I had the heir, the one that's in our army right now. He made it past age 70. I was stuck with a 000, which I would never ever do in a new. And in fact, with certain expansions enabled, you can disinherit your heirs for 50% prestige hit. Anyway, these are just some of my this I did during the League War. These two, a decent reserve and a fine goose step, were pain. I did this as Russia because they get the manpower ideas. It was such a pain in the butt to have a maximum manpower of 1 million. And forming Prussia is easy. 125% discipline is annoying. This you can do if you if you do it as an HRE country in the Holy Roman Empire, because you can't upgrade your government rank when you're in the HRE. You're stuck as a duchy. And then the rest of it is just, some of it's just luck. This is luck. This is also luck. RNG to get traits. This is luck. You need 30 states of prosperity. It's the same from the 70-year-old ruler. It's luck because getting the states of prosperity is not the hard part. It's the 70-year-old ruler part. This took a while. Getting 100 absolutism. This one also took a while. Again, you need expansions enabled for some of this stuff. Yep, and you can see some of the things that I still haven't done, but I could do easily. I know I can form Italy. I know I can form Germany. I know I can do Sweden is overpowered. I want to try to become the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire as Spain. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then there's just a bunch of other stuff. Anyway. So, last game, to recap, we helped France win a war. Last video, we helped France win a war. And, we wanted to attack Granada, but we found that there's a problem. The problem is that Morocco is guaranteed by Portugal. Now, Portugal, as you can see, is our ally, but because they're guaranteeing Granada, they're not going to come in, and they're not going to want to. They're not going to want to come to our aid. Now, if France would come in, and we're pretty close to getting France to come in. If France would come in, we might take it anyway. But since we want to, we're going to do something. We want to keep Portugal as an ally, but yet we want to kill Granada. So how do we go about doing that? Can we force Portugal to break its alliance to Granada? Yes, we can, and here's how you do it. It's Machiavellian diplomacy. The way the game works with your allies is, your allies cannot be at war, cannot go to war against you if they're already in a war on your side. So all we have to do is start a war, call Portugal in as our ally, and then we will, like, for example, we're not going to attack Aragon right now. We have a truce with them. But what we are going to do, if we were to attack Morocco, you see that Portugal would come in. Plus, we have no casus belli. So again, we're not going to attack yet. And Granada would come in as well, which is fine with us. So all we have to do, if Portugal's in a war with us, then we can attack Granada, assuming that the people we go to war with is not. If we declared on them, if Portugal come in, they would. So what we have to do then is fabricate a claim on them, which we're going to do. And then we're going to attack them in a war. And then while we're at war with them, we're going to attack Granada. Before we peace out with them, we are going to attack Granada. And then Portugal will not defend Granada because they're already in a war with us. Therefore, we will be able to complete the Reconquista. Yeah, we're going to gain mercantilism over legitimacy because legitimacy recovers. That was a weird, So we're gonna bring we can't forget to bring our fleet back here. Navarra dares to claim my stuff. Actually, you know what? We're gonna pull back from. There's an easier way. We're gonna pull back from 1461. We're gonna pull back, and we're gonna build a spy network on. That's right. You can't build a spy network because. So here, this is actually good to show. So let's say I wanted to attack Navarra, right? Well, I can't. I can't build a spy network because they're a subject state. I have to spy on their overlord Aragon instead, and then I can claim Navarra's province. So we are going to we're going to build a few more ships. And do that in the shipbuilding screen right here. Now we're at our naval force limit, so we're not going to. You can go over your naval force limit pretty safely. It's not that big a hit on income. Do not, unless you're in a desperate situation, do not go over your army force limit because you take big hits in terms of income. You can see we're at a 31. But let's say we want to say how strong is Talisim. Well, there's a thing we can do. There's this button, the second one right next to the menu, selector. We can go to military, we can go to armies, and we can sort by a bunch of things. Like, for example, we see how strong our rivals are. We have 4 of them, or three rivals and then us. So we can see that right now, because our manpower needs to recover. We see it right now, Aragon's slightly stronger than us, right? And so is England. Not that England will attack us, but we're stronger than Burgundy. But Burgundy also has subjects. We can also see how strong somebody is. So we'll be able to look when we get ready to go to war with Talisim, how strong they are. And we're going to fabricate on England because we should. Although I think France has a core on this, so we're not going to do that actually. We want to make things easier on ourselves. The goal here is going to be to keep France friendly. So instead, we're going to spy on Aragon and pick up more claims. Now, because we've already got a claim on Aragon, we need a 25. We need 25 spy network instead of 20. And then there'll be 30, 35, 40, so on. And it resets once you take your claim. So once we get to 25, we'll have to spend 25 spy network. There's also an achievement for which I can't show you because we're not in Iron Man mode. But there's an achievement for having 3 100% spy networks in your rivals. So now we go to speed 4. Speed 4 and wait. Speed 5 and wait. So what is this disputed accession tab that keeps coming up? It explains it. It says countries that lack heirs may end up in a personal union under another country in which they have a royal marriage with and their ruler dies. They can also have their thrones claimed by countries of the same dynasty. Well, what does that mean, right? So we go to diplomatic Mac modes, and we go to political map modes, and we look at dynastic, right? So you can see that, I'll pause it for a moment. You can see that two countries, right, have the same, we have the same dynasty of Aragon and also Naples. So if Aragon's ruler dies without an heir, and we have a royal marriage with them, we could claim the throne. If we had a royal, but of course we're rivals, so we're not going to be able to do that. But it would let us fight for their throne. And we don't need to do that as Castile, and you shouldn't do that. Because even if you had the opportunity, like even if the game had gone differently at start and we were allied with Aragon, we shouldn't try to claim their throne, because first off, it upsets every other nation you have a royal marriage with, because they think you're using it as the royal marriage as a pretext to claim the throne. But also because you don't, with Castile, we're going to get an event, most likely it happens in almost every game, where it's called the Iberian Wedding, and we're going to get Aragon for free, and hopefully Naples, they don't get independence. But you can see that there's a junior partner of Aragon, and the Liberty Desire is 6.5. So Liberty Desire, why does that matter? What Liberty Desire is how much does a nation want to get free of you? How happy are they as your vassal or your union? If Liberty Desire gets over 50%, they may try to declare independence of you, and which means you'll have to go to war to keep them. And other nations will be able to support their independence. The higher their independence, their Liberty Desire is to 100, the more likely they are to declare war for independence. At 100%, they will declare war for independence. It's a given at that point. So hopefully for us, also if you get a personal union over a country that has other personal unions, you get those personal unions as well. So when we get a personal union over Aragon, we're going to get Naples if Aragon has Naples under a personal union. If, however, Aragon had other vassals, those vassals would be set free. We wouldn't also get their vassals, only their personal unions. The Renaissance. This changes everything. Okay. The Renaissance is one of the first tech events. Let me pause for a minute to explain technology. So I told you in an earlier video that monarch points are everything. One of the main things that monarch points do is they advance your technology. I emphasized how important military technology is. Well, we're the Western Tech Group, which only matters for units now. But it used to, nations that weren't the Western Tech Group used to have to go through a process called Westernization, where they became Western in their technology. They wouldn't have penalties. Now, technological penalties are done via the institutions. And this is the first of the institutions, the Renaissance. In fact, if we go to here, you can see feudalism we start with, but not every nation does. The Renaissance just happened. Next will be colonialism, which hopefully will spawn in our country. Next is the printing press. And you can see the years that these are expected to happen in. So, roughly every 50 years, except for that one, it spawned in the papal state capital of Rome. Every 50 years we'll get a new institution, and we'll have to embrace that institution. And when you embrace, you'll get advantages, and you won't have a tech penalty. The tech penalty will go away. For each institution, the tech penalty can reach up to 50. So tech can get really expensive. Anyway, the Renaissance says, since the 14th century, the wealthy and powerful in the Italian city-states have been patronizing artists and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As a cultural movement, the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region and has had a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy, and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideals of classical philosophers. At the turn of the 1450s, Renaissance humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. A new ideal for rulers, as well as those who are ruled, are spreading as quickly as the early printers can distribute copies of these new ideas. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert on everything from politics, philosophy to art, textual analysis, music, and architecture. The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideals. This changes everything. Countries that have not fully embraced the Renaissance institution will receive an increasing technology cost, a penalty of 1% per year, up to at most 50%. And then the Prussian Confederation seeks Polish support, which means that independence that means that Poland becomes allied with Danzig, right here. It's a scripted event, and then now they're at war with the Teutonic Order. So, tech's important, and that means we need to get our military tech done as soon as possible. You can see minus 5% because diplomatic tech 4 has already been embraced by a neighbor. Now, you might think, okay, Portugal doesn't have it. Portugal is still at tech 3. Aragon is still at tech 3. Navarre is still at tech 3. England's still at tech 3. Grenada's still at tech 3. Morocco's still at tech 3. So you might be saying, going, wait a minute, none of our neighbors have it, right? So why are we getting the message that the thing that says it's our neighbors? But no, that's not what neighbors means. Neighbor means like in your area, people we can see on the map. So somebody here has tech 4. We'll deal with this in a minute. Somebody here has tech 4 and Diplotech, and that means it's 5% cheaper for everybody else. So yay. You don't always want to necessarily be the first to embrace a tech, unless of course it's military tech, because you help your neighbors, which is why embracing ahead of time can be also pretty bad. Disagreeing advisor. One of our advisors, while having been a faithful servant so far, but now they seem to have grown too insolent. The advisor dares to denounce our great king's policies, and recently did so in public in front of foreign ambassadors. Even if there might be some grounds for these criticisms, we shouldn't let open criticism of the king become a habit of anyone. Who are our advisors again? He's 38. I'm sorry. We're gonna lose the prestige because it'll put us at 0, and we'll gain either 25% admin, 25% diplo, or 25% military. Otherwise he'll die, and we like our morale armies guy. You can see that we have 25% with Tosum. So we're going to fabricate a claim on that's got a fort. That doesn't have a fort, so we'll fabricate our claim on that. We have our claim. We can go to war if we wish. We're going to confirm cancelizing the diplomatic thing. You can see we have our claim, but we don't have any manpower. So what do? Well, we do this. We will move our guys together. We'll put them together. Then we're going to do something that says consolidate regiments, which is a thing you can do in battle. Thing you can do for your armies. You can merge all understrength regiments of the same type to create as many full strength as possible. In other words, we'll merge our infantry and then our knights together. And then this part's important. Holding shift while clicking to leave 0 strength regiments behind will allow you to reinforce them later. So if we had any 0 strength regiments, we could obviously adding 0 and some number together gives you that number. So you don't want to you wouldn't want to merge your 0 strength regiments. You'd want to leave them behind, where you can enforce them later. See, we have some reinforced infantry, but we don't have a lot. So we are going to do that. But that drops our thing to 22.5, and our force limit is 31. So what do? Do we not want to have a full? No, nonsense. In addition to having regular units, you can have mercenaries. Now, mercenaries are more expensive to hire, and they don't use manpower, but they do cost money to reinforced. They also build a lot faster than regular units, so in a pinch, you can build a bunch of mercenaries, assuming you can afford it. These are temporary. We're going to disband them as soon as this war is over. Wars are over. So we built a lot of mercenaries. And in 14 days, but we can also fabricate a claim. But we're going to do what I showed you, where we're going to fabricate the claim on Navarro's province. Yep. But again, we have a truce with Navarre, and attacking Navarre, Aragon will defend them because they're their subject. You can see we're now losing money because of the mercenaries, which you can see are all right here. Losing 80 a month, we don't really care about that. The real question is, will Portugal still come in, or will they have to deal with their rival over there? So we're gonna, like I said, we know we're going to war, so we're gonna activate all our forts. We're gonna move to here, because that's where our fleet is. Actually, you know what? We're gonna get military access from them. What are these, Portuguese noble levels? We're gonna go kill Portugal's rebels so that they'll focus there. It'll also give us an opinion boost with them. When you defend other countries, you'll see the opinion boost we get. Don't you dare. They're attacking Portugal's capital. We can't allow that. What, 200% with... And you can see here, like I said in the other video, Portugal is our ally, therefore we're the defender in this combat. Not that it matters. And we killed 17,000 troops. And now we're gonna go head over there. The entire, like, we don't particularly care about these provinces, although we'll be happy to take a couple from them. But the entire reason we're doing this is so that we can have Portugal in a war with, and then so they won't defend Granada, which I'll show you in a minute. We're going to click on them. We're going to say attach to transport. We're going to move the transport here. We're doing this all ahead of time. And now we're going to declare war. We're going to call in Portugal, which we have to by checking. And we're going to confirm. You have to wait. You have to wait a little while to start a second war. We're going to transport them there. You can see that we already won a battle, which I clicked through, I'm sorry. We're going to go to speed 3. And wait, and wait, and wait, and hopefully Portugal is going to bring its troops over. We also did it this way because now we can bring the rest of the troops over. This is a much faster way of transporting. And this is how you should transport. You should send your transport navy to the area. Click on the unit. Click on this. And then bring them over to bring them out. Bring them out like that. Click on the navy. And then click on transport like that. When you're pressed for time, like when you're going to war, that's the quicker way to do that. If you're just transporting units wherever, it doesn't really matter. Like when I bring them home, it won't particularly matter. I think I want to go to, I want to siege possibly their capital next. And here's Portugal to help us out. And we have our guy. We have our free. We're going to go here. Again, we're going to go here. Pause. Attach these guys to a transport. And bring them here. And now that we have a foothold, you can see that we could bring our units directly through instead of having them here. Well, but we don't need our boats here, so we're gonna put them out again so that we get the. Oh. Okay, you need to go here then. So we can get rid of the siege modifier for the area not being blockaded. And now we wait. We're only going to probably take a couple of provinces from We'll leave this 8 stack here to not pick up more attrition and so that we can reinforce if need be. So if we're attacked here or here, we'll just move this unit in, these units in. It's reinforcements. But let's take a look at our numbers. So we have 22,000 and we have 34,843 infantry combined. They have 14,000 combined. We have, call it 9,000 infantry. They have 7,000 infantry. So we're doing pretty well. Portugal is bringing its army over. In fact, Portugal is sieging this, so we don't need to. But we're going to sit here just to help them. Now, you might say, well, why do we want units in Africa, right? Like, why do we care about provinces in Africa? It's for trade reasons. If you can... I'm going to pause the game just to be safe, even though we should be okay. You can see that this is our home port, and that there's arrows leading into the home port, and arrows leading out of the home port. Well, one of the arrows comes from here. You can see they go here. We have a merchant here that's transferring trade power. In other words, it's pushing it this way. You can only push in the directions that arrows go. I don't want to go to in this video. I don't want to go into the in-depth, detailed mechanics of trade. But I do want to give you the very basics. So you push trade upstream towards your home node. So the more provinces, right now we have 18% power in this trade node. The more provinces we get that are this color, in other words, these provinces, in the Sapphire trade node, the more power we'll get, the more money we push pretty much to get up. And more money means more money here. Certain trade nodes are end nodes. There are 3. In other words, all trade flows there. No trade leaves this trade node. Genoa. There's one in Venice. And then there's one, they're called end nodes. There's one in the English Channel. But we only lose one stream. Right now, 2 ducats is being sent forward. And you can see why. We wanna grab as much of our trade node as possible. Which is another reason why we're about to attack Granada. And then once we do, more money will be sent towards us. Alright. Just thought I'd give up. And that, my friends, is a very brief overview of trade. Once we start colonizing, you'll see more. You'll see more of where some of these arrows that you can't see. You're like, where are all these arrows coming from, right? Where are all these arrows coming from? Once we explore all this, you'll see. The New World is fixed unless you have the one of the expansions. I'm sorry, I keep saying one of the expansions, but I've had some of these expansions for years. And I can't always remember what expansion gave us what. But if you have, and we won a siege, if you have a certain expansion, you can randomize the New World. I think it's Conquest of Paradise is the expansion. I want to move these guys here. We're able to invest in the technology. We're going to do so immediately. Military technology. King, our military technology, by the way, depending on what type of government you play, this message will be different. It could say Emperor, it could say President, it could say other things. Saying our military technology level was increased to Pike Square 4. Throughout the Middle Ages, cavalry's dominance was being challenged by the disciplined pikemen. In battles such as Ben Cockburn or Golden Spurs, cavalry was defeated by pikes. A combination of improved training and discipline and the addition of swordsmen provide close combat support has raised this formation to the peak of its efficiency. Bonus military tactics, yes, and land morale increased by 0.050. These don't seem like huge numbers, I know. You're like, it's not even 1, why do you even care? And when you battle against people with lower techs, lower military tactics, and lower morale, it makes a huge difference. They're still on tech 3. So if we get into combat with them, we're going to have a huge edge. Alright, wall breach. Double wall breach. Excellent. Let's go maybe here. Yeah, it says land movement blocked by hostile fort. That's it. Oh yes, I didn't even cover this in combat. So, in the combat section, I apologize. Forts provide zone of control. So you can see, this is the Toledo fort, and it's on. Forts provide zone of control when they're on. When they're off, they don't. You can see it's within your fort and Toledo zone of control. Within your fort and Toledo zone of control. They're the ones next to it. They block hostile movement through forts. You can't just move around when forts are stopping your movement. This matters for us. The AI path's weird. Like, past its unit path, the way it moves is weird. And sometimes we've seen the AI blatantly ignore this rule, where they walk right through one of your forts, and you're like, what the heck? But recent patches has made that better, hopefully. But for us, now you can see they're at 42%. Their war enthusiasm is medium, which again, high, medium, low, the war enthusiasms. Question is, should we attack your troops? Answer is, yeah, we should. We have another battle. No captured ships. You can see that battles are damaging our fleet. So we're going to go, for the moment, we're going to move them here to heal them. Okay, we can no longer. And we won our battle. We killed Cab. And we're going to siege this province. Oh. So what I was saying earlier. You can see when we're in a war together, we get an additional modifier plus 25% for being in a war together. Also, they're rivaled with the country we're at war with, so we get an additional modifier that ticks. Both these modifiers tick down. Improved relations ticks down, and declared war on the enemy is plus 10. And then you can see they trust us to uphold our bargains, which is good because we will. We're going to improve relations so we keep our diplomat busy. The other thing we could be doing, we should be doing, is improving relations with the Pope. Because the Pope can excommunicate us, which we don't want. We want Pope Man to be friendly. And now, we're winning this war. Our spy network was discovered, meaning we can bring the agent back. We can actually move there. Yeah, we can move here. Or is Portugal already sieging there? Okay. Portugal's already got this covered. We can move R2 to the nearest fort and start sieging it. You can see we've already got a 40% low score, and they're at low military enthusiasm, so that they're happy to they're happy to get out of this war. Let's see, right now, if we wanted to, you need a diplomat free to check for peace deals. I really wish they, as a quality of life thing, I really wish that they would just allow you to see the screen without a diplomat, because that way, like, you don't have to pull a diplomat back from doing something else until you're absolutely ready to get the peace deal. So that's our okay, you can see that we can take these two provinces right now. We can even take their capital if we want. But before we peace out, like, and let's say that's all we wanted. But what? What the heck? Hold on a second. Can you not demand war reparations? What? Is that that must be a vanilla thing. Yes, this is the vanilla patch. Vanilla patch with no, this is a game with no expansions. Man, there's so much left out. Anyway, before we accept this send demand, the green check mark says they'll do it. You can see the reasons. Why positive 96, negative 84. But they won't do that. They won't do that. They will do that, but there'll be a coalition that forms against us if we do this. Do we care if France is our ally? Not really. But I think I'd rather take money from them. They'll give us 48 gold right now. But before we can send that peace deal, we need to declare war on Granada, because Portugal is still guaranteeing the independence of them. So we're going to go about doing that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to here. We'll take the minus. No, we don't want to give up 80 ducats right now. And then we're going to move them, the fleet to here. Again, we're going to click on our army. We're going to attach the transport. We're going to bring the transport back to here. We're going to grab the transport, bring it here. We're going to attach the transport. We're going to bring the transports back to the province where we want the army to land. We're going to grab... We're going to put these guys here because we need them ready to crush this army. We're going to bring the transport to here. The fleet with the transports to here, sorry. Aragon is, you see we have 11 transports now, because we got one from a battle. Okay. Now, we're going to declare war on Granada. Now, here's the thing. You can see now that Portugal won't defend them. And they move their army. We can't have them do that. I'm sorry, I'm having a few issues with allergies. Anyway. Now they're at medium suddenly, they won't. It's fine. Anyway, you'll see on the watercolor screen that Portugal will no longer defend them. Why? They're fighting on a war. They're fighting a war on the same side as the enemy. The enemy would be us. They also won't help us. Why? Because they're not willing to join another office of war until 1/25/1461. And France won't because they're fighting in another war and they'd be called into multiple wars. We're going to declare on this province. We'll have to deal with Morocco, but we can. We're just going to send our navy to block. In fact, we're going to do that now. We're going to block the Straits of Gibraltar. So we're going to declare on Granada now. I'll attack them there and attack them here. And now, when we have a diplomat to save and send, now they don't want to do it. Come on. Oh, come on. A minute ago they were willing to do it. I know what it is. We need to siege there. Alright. So we're just going to peace out for what Granada will give us, which is we don't really need their capital anyway. And close to all their money, as much as their money as they'll give us. which is 126 ducats. And now we have them. And it says some of our provinces lack cores. We can spend administrative power to gain cores, which we're going to do. So, I'm going to end this video right here. In this video, we covered some of the mechanics of personal unions. We covered a Machiavellian diplomacy trick, how to fight a nation we want to fight when one of your allies is guaranteeing them, or is allied to them in certain cases. This trick's super useful. Use it all the time. Sometimes you want to attack somebody but your ally, you don't want to lose, is allied to them. So what do? You start another war, call the ally in question in, and then you declare on the person you really want to declare on. This would really have worked best if I could, if Navarre wasn't a subject of anybody. I could have declared on Navarre their one province minor, called Portugal in, and then declared on this before I finish this war. So, next video we're going to talk more about the Iberian wedding and the conditions for the event conditions for their fire. It's a scripted event, but it still has trigger convention conditions. This has been a video. I'm Red Hunter. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.